Welcome to Tech Tips. I'm Len Groom. Today we're changing the primary fluid on a Harley Davidson motorcycle. Let's check in with our trade show manager and in-house motorcycle enthusiast Patricia Stoll on how to do that.
Today we're going to change the primary fluid on a Harley Davidson Softail. This just happens to be a 2014 Fat Boy Low. Before you begin this procedure, you'll need a few items. I have this handy dandy primary funnel. You'll want a drain pan, a new O-ring, a 5/8 inch socket, a T27 torque bit, your socket wrench and a torque wrench, your primary cover gasket, and of course some AMSOIL V-twin primary fluid. First, you're going to want to locate your primary drain plug, which is located right below your primary case. Next, we have to remove our primary cover. You're going to need your socket wrench and your T27 torque bit. So there's 5 bolts, so make sure you set them somewhere safe and you don't lose them. So now that I've removed all 5 bolts, I'm going to remove the primary cover and set it aside. Next, we're going to drain our primary fluid. You're going to want your 5/8 inch socket and your socket wrench. So you want to slide your drain pan into place, and I like to remove it by hand so my drain plug doesn't fall into the primary fluid. Okay, it's coming. Next, we're going to replace the gasket on our primary case cover. Should be able to pull the old one right out. Get rid of that. Grab a new one, and it should drop right into place. I'm going to put that in there, and I'm going to set it aside. Now that my primary fluid has drained, and put my drain plug back in. So I've cleaned the drain plug and installed a new O-ring. I like to start it by hand and then snug it up with my socket wrench and my 5/8 inch socket. So now you want to take your torque wrench, and you'll want your torque wrench set at 14 to 21 foot-pounds of torque. I have mine set at 16. Okay, we should be set. Next, we're going to fill our primary with oil. I like to use my handy dandy funnel, which is designed for a primary case. And I like using AMSOIL synthetic V-twin primary fluid. Remember, Harley Davidson Softails require 1 quart of primary fluid. Now that we've filled the primary case with fluid, double check the fluid level visually. The primary fluid should be touching the bottom of the clutch plate. Now we're going to replace the primary cover. I've already installed a new gasket. So put our cover on, get a bolt. I like to start them by hand. I've finished snugging up the bolts on my primary case cover. I'm going to take my torque wrench and my T27 torque bit and tighten them to the proper setting. Your torque wrench should be set at 84 to 108 inch-pounds of torque. Remember when you tighten the bolts on your primary case to tighten them in a star pattern, much like you would the lug nuts on a car tire. So I've finished torquing all the bolts on my primary case, and we're done. That's all there is to changing the primary fluid on a Harley Davidson Softail.
Remember, as you change the oil on your individual bike, check your owner's manual for capacity or go to the lookup guide at AMSOIL.com. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.